Hi there. I have a question to ask you. Are you using technology for your own special secret sauce? And if not, I'm going to tell you some ways that you can and take you behind the scenes of what I am working on. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Kimberly Inez Mays. I'm an AI educator and strategist helping mission-driven leaders use AI with clarity, judgment, and confidence. I'm demonstrating tools, techniques, use cases, and talking about responsible use of AI for you and your business. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Using technology for your own special secret sauce, your own workflows, your own proprietary knowledge and intellectual property. So often we feel like AI is making us unspecial, right? We're saying, oh, well, if my clients can just work with ChatGPT, why wouldn't they want to work with me? Or you may feel like, oh, my clients are trying things with AI, but I know that I can get a better result. That's probably you. But I'm here to tell you that you don't need to compete with AI. You don't need to compete with technology. And you can use it to amplify the thing that you do. I'm going to give you an example, and here's where I promise the behind the scenes stuff. I'm currently launching an application. It's called Story to Spine. I built it with my partner, Lisa Charles. And Lisa's special ability is to extract information, extract stories from people so that they can use it in their business to draft their mission statement, to develop their framework, their book, their signature talk, all based on their story, their lived experience. And sometimes there are pieces of our story that we haven't yet surfaced because for whatever reason, we haven't had the right people ask the right questions. So that's her specialty. Now, what does that have to do with technology, you say? Well, technology can amplify that, right? As we are all humans, we only have 24 hours in our day, or at least most humans do. I think there's some humans that can give themselves some more time, but most people only have 24 hours a day and limited capacity to serve. And I know that people in the mission-driven space, whether you are working for a nonprofit or you're a coach, consultant, speaker, or whatever the case may be, if you help people, you have limited capacity, but I know you have it in you to want to help more people. So how do you help more people, but also have a life, right? And I used to talk about this with automation. Automation is great, but automation with AI is amazing. And the Story to Spine app is what I built with her in order to take her special workflow, her special process, of extracting information from a person and putting it into their story. And how the application works, and I'll take you behind the scenes in another video, just really, really deep behind the scenes. I'll actually open the floodgates, is how that works is I inputted her special secret sauce, which I am not at liberty to disclose, nor would I, but her special secret methodology, it is embedded inside the application. So it asks specific questions based on what she would ask if she were sitting in front of a person. It does the deep dive, it does the probing, it does all of the extraction, and it asks a lot of the tough questions to get at the surface of a person's story. And you can absolutely do that with AI. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're maybe like, well, I could do that with ChatGPT, no? Well, you can if you know how to prompt it, and also too knowing the limitations of AI, knowing that AI can hallucinate, be overly sycophantic, bias, and all of those other things. So if you don't know how to mitigate against that, and if you don't know anything about context windows, reasoning models, model selection, you're not going to get the same results from an open chat. You just cannot. And plus, you don't know what questions to ask because that is Lisa's specialty. So kind of going back to what the app does, it asks the questions, it extracts all of the information from the story, and it puts it into story beats. It adds it on the side. It adds the story beats. It adds the pieces of the story that make up the framework, the mission, and all of the special sauce of that person, of that business owner, coach, leader, speaker. And from there, there's a cascading effect where it takes the story beats and then crafts the mission, and then it crafts the framework, and then it crafts a book outline. There are so many people that want to write a book that just say someday, 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 one day, and they don't really know where to start. They open up a Google Doc and maybe they try to type a little bit, but then they're like, oh, what was the story again? They get lost in the sauce, they get lost in the outline, they get lost in the message. This helps with that. And then from there, let's say you are asked to call to speak all of a sudden. You're like, oh, I need you to speak at my summit, whatever, next month, next week, tomorrow, it doesn't matter. Or maybe you're invited to speak virtually or whatever the case may be. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe even a full hour. What do? This app also has a speaking outline based on that same book, same story, same message, same mission. So it's all one cohesive brand asset or one collection of brand assets that's exportable, reusable. You could take that, you can then finally get that book done, get that signature talk outline that you want. You can do so many things with that information. And I built that, and I will show you the user interface in another video. I will link to the page if you want to test it out. Not test it out, but actually want to see a little demo of it. I can link to the actual thing. But I say all that to say is not to really plug the Story to Spine application, although I think it is amazing, and I think you definitely need to work with Lisa because she's great at what she does. But at the same token is that if you are a knowledge worker, if you have that sort of skill set that can help people, but you want to scale and you want to be able to help people, more people, or be able to lower your price point because now you don't have to be physically present, but your intellectual property is locked in, you may want to consider using technology. You don't want to be just stuck with your own capacity. I know a lot of us feel like, okay, well, I have like 10 coaching calls or 10 teaching things I got to do or speaking or whatever the case may be. But if you're not leveraging this technology, you might be leaving money on the table. I know I'm not a FOMO person, but I will say that at least give it a try. Now, how do you give it a try if you're just getting started? Well, number one, the key to getting started is just getting started, right? You have to pick an application, you have to log in, you have to test it out, you have to get your hands dirty with it, or at least try it out just a little bit. If you're not yet comfortable, that is where your floor is. Just sign up for a free thing. But then once you are acclimated to it, you want to get some real outputs, a small investment of $20, $30, $50 a month, whatever the tool that you want. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Claude, whatever to have you, and then ask it, how would I be able to delegate what I do with an AI tool? You'll be surprised at the things that you can now do with connecting certain applications of yours, your Google Drive, your Gmail, you can give it lots of context. I'll go into more of this. Of course, I don't have enough time, but you can connect it to everything in your ecosystem, right? You can connect it to your learning management system if you have one, connect it to your Drive folders, you can connect it to other applications, your CRM. I can go on and on and on. And you could build a framework from which you can now deliver things automatically. And then you can also have your own human oversight, which is human in the loop, to make sure that it's working correctly, functioning correctly, and it can be a supplement to the things that you already do. So if one of your client has a 3 a.m. problem, maybe they need someone to chat with really quickly, or they need clarity on maybe something you covered in a group coaching program, you can put that context inside like a custom GPT or a gem or even a skill. I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff out there, but you can put your context in there and they can communicate with that. There are so many things that you can do, and there are so many caveats of using this technology that you might not be aware of. And that's where I come in, because I'll teach you about context windows. I'll teach you about model selection, about things AI can and cannot do. I'll teach you about the safety. I'll teach you about hallucination, about it just going off the rails, filling in the gaps. I'll teach you about like sycophancy. That's a tongue twister, but I'll teach you how to pick out your best use case and the tools for it so that you don't spin your wheels trying something that doesn't work. The worst thing to do is to spend all day prompting, correcting, prompting again, correcting again. And this is why a lot of people tell me that, oh, AI really doesn't save me any time. I don't like the output that I'm getting from it. It's like, yeah, because you haven't set it up correctly and you don't really understand some of the terminology so that you can pick the best product for you. So that's where I come in. But you can absolutely build things like this. You can absolutely explore having something built for you. Wink, wink. You can absolutely just get started, right? So that is my call to action to you, is to find out where you are. Find out where you are. And I have some goodies. If you just look in the description or wherever I'm posting this, right? I have lots of goodies. I'm just fairy godmother, just giving stuff out. I have assessments so that you can see where you are and where you might want the AI technology to take you, right? It's fast moving, ever shifting. There's new things that come out at lightning speed, but the only thing you need to worry about is the thing that is going to make the difference for you, your business, or your organization. So I hope this was helpful. All right, so if you found this valuable, please like, share, and subscribe, because sharing is caring. And I will see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye.